What's up, you wonderful ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Venomous Lord here for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck Profile Day 2. And today we're going to talk about my absolute favorite deck ever made by Yu-Gi-Oh! And this deck is my favorite simply because it has multiple play styles. The deck is cute for one, and I love small cute creatures, which was always my thing. That's why I love Madolche and Fright Fur and this, that, and the other. But this deck is kind of one of those hit at home decks because this deck can turn anything small into something big. Even the littlest insignificant creatures can make some of the biggest monsters and go for game at any point in the game, and it's so explosive, and I just love it to bits. Now, I should mention though that this deck is subject to change because there is some things that I put in there based off of somebody else's profile that I do want to change because it doesn't fit my playstyle. So if you guys would like me to upload my deck for this, go ahead and just write it down in the comments, and I'll be sure to check it out. And if enough people want to do it, then hey, I'll give you my version of Baby Raccoons. Now, to start off the deck, we're going to play what is essentially the main deck boss monster. I know it's weak and insignificant, but it opens up a lot of plays. We're going to run 3 Baby Raccoon Ponpoko. Now, it's a level 2 Earth Beast, which is huge in synergy for this deck, on top of the fact it's a Baby Raccoon deck. But its effect is, when it's normal summoned, you can special summon a level 2 Beast-type monster from your deck in face-down defense position, except itself. You can't special summon any monsters the turn you activate this effect, except Beast-type monsters. So you're going to use this in combo with some other cards like your Calantosa, or if you can find any other beasts that I'm not going to mention today that work well with the special summoning effect, please let me know down in the comments. Other than that, it's just an 800 attack, 0 defense monster. Not really too much of a big deal in battle. Next one, you're going to play the second Baby Raccoon here. And he is kind of slow, but you're going to play 3 Baby Raccoon Tantans. Now he's the exact opposite in attack and defense. He has 0 attack, 800 defense. He's a level 2 Earth Beast again, and he has a flip effect. And whenever he's flipped, special summon 1 level 2 Beast type monster from your deck except Baby Raccoon Tantan, which will help populate your field. Or if you got nothing else going on for you, then it'll set up, a potential defense play. Which this deck 9 times out of 10 will never play defensive. Unless you're in the start of the game. Alright, next we're going to play the next monster. And this sets up really, really huge combos in the deck. We're going to play triple Valeraphon, the mythical beast of the forest. Level 2 Earth Beast type monster. And it's a tuner, so we can move into synchro plays. It has 400 attack, 900 defense. And its effect is, you can discard 1 card and target 1 level 2 or lower Beast-type monster in your graveyard except itself, and special summon it in an attack position or face-down defense position. You can use this only once per turn. Now, this is a soft once per turn, so if you were to pop out more than 1 of these, like if you were to hit all 3 at once, which is very rare, but you can get up to 3 more monsters, potentially. And this dude sets up our graveyard play. Or if you're just trying to set up a basic defense because you know your opponent might OTK next turn, he can set up you a defense wall. Really, really nice. Necessary card for the deck. Now our next triple here, we're going to play this. And this is where we really don't need spell trap destruction or monster destruction, because this does it for us as long as we can get the play off. We're going to play triple Calantosa, the mystical beast of the forest. And his effect is, if he's special summoned by the effect of a beast, so if you pop him off with Valeraphon, if you special summon him with Tantan, or if you put him out on the field with Ponpoko, then his effect will trigger. So you have an optional, jump into destruction, spot removal. He is a level 2 Earth Beast. Once again, great with synergy of the deck. And he is one of our main combo pieces. If you want to play him, pop something, and overlay. into your Sundayu or something. Really, really works out. Next one, we're going to play triple. Sorry, these cards are being kind of funny in these sleeves. Right, triple Junk Synchron. Now, Junk Synchron is essential for the deck because he's the only odd number monster we play outside the extra deck. And he sets up for odd number plays. So, first off, let me give you his stats if you don't know. He's a dark level 3 warrior tuner. So I can use him for a synchro summon. And when he's normal summoned, I get to special summon a level 2 or lower monster from the graveyard, which all of them are except for him and like one other I'm going to show you next. And special summon that monster to defense position, and it has its effects negated. Now we're not worried about that because obviously he's not a beast, so we're not going to use Kalantosa for him. We might use Kalantosa for the synchro, but we got a quick, 1-2 punch. And then the last one of the deck that we're going to play, I recommend that you play more than one of these. I really do. But I only have one right now, so sadly I'm stuck to what I got. But Rescue Cat. Rescue Cat's a level 4 Earth Beast, and it kind of takes away from the synergy. But with a 300 attack and 100 defense too, he's kind of a weak monster. But we're not using him for battle unless we only need 300 points to win. But his effect is you can send him from your side of the field to the graveyard. Means he could have been special summoned from Valeraphon. He could have been, special summoned from like a Monster Reborn or something. It doesn't matter. Normal or special summon, you can send it from the field to the graveyard, and you get 2 additional beasts from your deck that are level 3 or lower, and they don't have to be the same monster or anything. They are destroyed during the end phase, but they're not going to really, make it to the end phase because we're going to use them for a Link summon, an Xyz summon, or possibly even a Synchro summon. Because this is a very turbo-based deck, and I like to pop off extra deck monsters like it's nobody's business. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about our non-poppable... How do I even put this? We're going to talk about the monsters that can pull from the deck, or you can just play them right on the spot. So you have an easy wall, or you can move into one of your beast extra deck plays. We're going to talk about first triple Obedience Schools, and you can't play baby raccoons without this. Like, you might be able to, but it's not going to be as good. Obedience Schools is a normal spell card, and if you control no monsters, you can special summon 3 level 2 or lower beast type effect monsters with different names from your deck. So, for example, you could get Rescue Cat, take that back. Sorry, bad at math. You can get 1 Valeraphon, you can grab 1 Tantan, and then you got 1 Ponpoko. And their effects don't get negated. Their effects are negated. So you wouldn't be able to make your Valeraphon plays, and Ponpoko and Tantan wouldn't be used during the normal summoning conditions, so you wouldn't be able to use their effects either. And they are destroyed during the end phase, but like I said with the last one, Rescue Cat, they're not going to make it to the end phase. We got 3 monsters, we're going to use those 3 monsters for the extra deck. But we are added a restriction because you can't special summon from the extra deck except for beast type monsters the turn you activate this, which isn't bad. And then following up with that, we also have your 3 copies of Scapegoat. Scapegoat's just an awesome card. You can run into any Link 4 play, or you can even use it for Link 2 for Misa's Radiant, or literally a Link 3, decode, encode. Or not encode, because encode needs Cyber's monsters. Or not decode either, because you need effect monsters. But these are just, maybe a good defense wall, or you can use their ones and combo with like a Junk Synchron or a Valeraphon. Go ahead and get your Synchro play going. They can't be tributed though, which we're not tribute summoning at all. So just an overall good card. And then we're going to talk about our draw engine. This is the one thing I would like to change. Even though it does speed through the deck, there's a potential you could draw into the other ones. Running 3 Pot of Desires, 1 Upstart Goblin. Now the Upstart Goblin makes sense because yeah, it does give your opponent 1,000 more life points, but Upstart Goblin will let you draw a card and essentially make your deck a 39 card deck, which is good. But it'll make mine a 40 because I am playing 41 cards in here. And then Pot of Desires, at the cost of banishing the top 10 cards of your deck, you can draw 2 cards. Now, the reason why I want to change this, not because it doesn't give me hand advantage or because the card sucks in any way, but because I'm playing 3 of them, and there's a potential I could Pot of Desires, banish a whole bunch of essential stuff, and then draw the other 2 Desires. And that would hurt really bad. But that's it for our draw engine. We really don't do a lot of drawing because a lot of stuff comes directly from the deck. The only reason we're drawing is so we can get our support cards. Next, we're going to talk about mass removal. This is another card I'd like to change, but for the purpose of keeping this budget friendly, I am only playing Dark Hole. The card I would change out for this is Raigeki. You can play Dark Hole and Raigeki, but Raigeki's a lot better for your deck situation because you want to clear your opponent's field. Dark Hole's like right at the beginning of the game if you don't go first and they have like a monster board, and if they can't negate it, clear their field. And then after that, we're going to talk about our other destruction cards as far as mass removal. Playing triple Twin Twisters. I'm actually kind of thinking about testing this with Cosmic Cyclone or even MST, because at the cost of negating myself a card, I can, pop 2 of my opponent's back row. Which, with the counter fairy deck, like I showed you yesterday, back row popping can be difficult. So, I mean, you could burn Twin Twisters and not get anything out of it. Alright. And then after that, we're going to talk about our rebirth cards. Because you always want to have monsters on the field. That's what this deck is about. Explosiveness. And you got to have monsters. So first thing, we're going to play Monster Reborn. Simple enough. You could steal one of your opponent's monsters and maybe link summon, or go into a big synchro play. Or you could revive a very, very key piece from your graveyard, like from our extra deck that went to the graveyard, and that's kind of a big deal. Then you got Soul Charge. Yes, it does make you relinquish your battle phase, but it does set you up with a huge, huge set of combos if you get the right cards in the graveyard at the right time. The only thing I don't like is that it negs you 1,000 life points for each monster you pull back from your graveyard. And then the last rebirth card, you can't play Beast without Ayers Rock Sunrise. Ayers Rock Sunrise is you can target a Beast type monster in your graveyard and special summon it, and then all of your opponent's monsters lose attack points equal to 200 times the number of beasts in your graveyard. Which, if you're trying to just bring a beast out and you can go for game, go for game. But the only reason we use this is because it's basically a free summon of a beast, and it sets up for more plays. You want to make plays every turn if you have to make more turns. Now, let's go on to the traps. With the rise of Pendulum Magicians, or even with a True Draco extra deck, or the Seraphi Knights, or even Borolo, or not Borolo because he's a Link monster, but just the overuse of extra deck nowadays is freaking outrageous, and I'm going to go ahead and say that, even though I'm talking about a deck that is known for extra deck explosion, but you want to have a way to stop it, and all of our traps are ways to stop it. You got Dimensional Barrier at 3. When you activate it, you can declare one monster type, Pendulum, Xyz, Fusion, or Synchro, and your opponent can't special summon monsters of that type for the rest of the turn. Also, if there are any on the field, like a Seraphinite or Utopia the Lightning even, which is a huge problem for this deck, you can just go ahead and stop their effects right in their tracks, and if you can play something big, hit it. The next one we're going to play is, I would play more than one of these, but I'm only playing one because it kind of gets bricky. I'm going to play Solemn Strike. You can either prevent a summon, which could slow down your opponent's whole turn, or you can stop a monster effect, which does the same thing. Your Masterpiece, whatever if Masterpiece didn't get tributed by Trap card. And then you got Solemn Warning. Once again, we're stopping the summon. No summons. And then Solemn Judgment's a 1-card negation for anything at the cost of half your life points. Solemn Judgment is a staple in every deck since it came off the ban list. And the whole point of stopping summons is because we play weak monsters. We want those weak monsters to live if we can't make plays, so we can make plays the next turn. And that'll be it for the traps. So we're going to go ahead and move into the extra deck, and the extra deck's kind of a tech choice. I do feel like changing mine because, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can play. You can move into Phantom Knights, you can play Gachi Gachi Kentetsu. You can even, if you really wanted to, play Grinosaurus, but that's not what we're really looking for. We're looking for synergy. And I do want to play one more of these, but I only have 2 at the moment. So you're going to play double Mises Radiant. Really good for any kind of Earth deck. And it really helps if you're playing, like, if somebody wants to throw a rogue deck at you, like maybe Dragoonity, which are all wind monsters. This really kind of shuts them down. And it even potentially hurts the Element Sabers that just came out because they can change to wind attribute. But this is a link 2 for 2 Earth monsters, which most of our monsters are Earth monsters. And all Earth monsters on the field gain 500 attack and defense, so you get a little boost there, which helps with the combo play that I'm about to show you in a minute. But that includes him, so it goes from 1400 to 1900. And all wind monsters lose 400 attack and defense, so you can easily, more easily anyway, try to run over them. And when he's sent to the graveyard, he recycles an Earth monster. So if you've played one, you're just going to look for a combo piece. But if you've already lost that one and you have to go to the second one, you're going to get Mises Radiant back because you want to keep playing it. Alright, and then the last link monster is a link 3. Just a personal preference, Decode Talker. Because he sets up the same link zones +1. And he gets an attack boost for the cards that are linked to him. And if he were to be destroyed, you can just destroy a card there anyway, put stuff back in your graveyard. Alright, now here's our major combo piece. Now, baby raccoons, once again, can't be run without this creature. 3 copies of number 64, Ronin Raccoon, Sendeyu. He has 1,000 attack and defense. He's a rank 2, which works with the level 2 Earth Beast we have. He's also an Earth Beast himself. And he only requires 2. So, huge boost. And his effect is you can detach a material from him and create a token copy of the strongest attack point monster on the field. Now, not that big of a deal because you're thinking, oh, so I'm just going to run it into the strongest monster if it's my opponent's, and then I have less of an open field and 1 less token. No, because you're going to play Mises Radiant before him, because that token is a beast and it's Earth. So you're going to make that Earth Beast gain 500 attack points. And then if you have another one on the field, you can make that stronger. And you get up to 4 effects with 2 of them. Also, number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sendeyu, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects as long as you control another beast. So what a lot of people don't look at is that if I play 2 of them and I have those link zones open by Mises Radiant or Decode Talker, then I have an unbeatable field. Unless he can negate all my monster effects and then Raigeki me. There's no way he can get rid of those Ronin Raccoons. Which solidifies my game plan. Unless they're doing some Trickstar burn damage shenanigans. And then the last XCs we're playing in this deck is just one more rank 2. The Phantom Knight's a Cursed Javelin. He requires 2 level 2 monsters. And he has 1600 attack. You can detach a material, make a monster's attack become 0. Which is really good if you're trying to hit something big. And then the last thing, I did say this was a turbo deck, so let's look at the smallest to largest, because we're going to look at synchros. Synchros are big money in this deck. So we're going to talk about 1 Frozen Fitzgerald, 2500 attack, 2500 defense. He's one of my strongest synchro monsters in attack and defense. And if he gets blown up by a card effect, you can special summon him back. So just a recurrence play. Then you got Junk Warrior. This is my OTK machine, literally. He has 2300 attack, requires Junk Synchron and another level 2. But if you got more monsters on the field, like if you Synchro and then you activate Scapegoat, he's going to gain all the attack total. Especially if you have Mrs. Radiant, you're going to hit for game right there. And then we're going to play Naturia Landios. 2350 attack and 1600 defense. 1 Earth Tuner, so that's Valeraphon right there. And 1 or more non-Earth Tuners. As long as he's on the face-up on the field, you can send a spell card from your hand to the graveyard, which is not ideal unless you're trying to burn the Twin Twisters you can't play. And negate the activation of affect monster's effect and destroy it. So we can stop recurrence plays from our opponent. We got our Ancient Fairy Dragon, simply because I don't like Dragonic Diagram, I don't like Layer of Darkness, I don't like Sanctuary in the Sky, I don't like the Cosmo field spell, I don't like any field spells. So I'm going to blow all of them up, and I'm going to gain some life back, so maybe I can use that Soul Charge to more efficiency. Also, he's a 3000 defense wall, which is really good for you, and you can special summon from your hand once per turn. And then we got Black Rose Dragon. Following the Signer Road. If you can't deal with your opponent's stuff, Black Rose it out. Just clear the field. And then we got Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend, which is one of our biggest combo pieces. 3000 attack, 2500 defense, level 8 synchro, and he's generic in cost. And this card is Red Dragon Archfiend, so if you wanted to run a Red Dragon turbo deck using beasts, go right ahead. And he once per turn he can destroy every monster on the field that was special summoned that has less than or equal to attack than him. And he's going to deal 500 points of burn damage to your opponent for each one. Then we got our big negator. It was either this guy or Naturia Beast, but I like this guy more because spell cards are kind of not a big deal. But I would play Naturia Beast in this deck if I were you, maybe swap him out for Frozen Fitzgerald. But Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, not only is a 3000 attack point beater, he negates a monster effect, gains monster attack. So he's kind of hard to deal with if your opponent relies solely on monster effects like Draco Slayers do. And then last but not least, if I play this, more than likely than not, I'm going to win the game because I've taken away 3 combo pieces. Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Level 9 generic synchro monster with 2700 attack, so he's a good hitter. But we're worried about his effect. When he's synchro summoned, you can banish 1 card from your opponent's hand, field, and graveyard. The one in the hand's chosen at random. But what it's going to do for me is it's going to allow me to take away one of your graveyard cards. If you're playing zombies, that kind of hurts unless you're playing Shiranui. And then there's also the hand. So hand traps right away. We can go ahead and clear them. You know, your Ghost Ogre, or maybe that's not the best example because hand traps probably could get rid of it. But I mean, there's a new one, Ghost Bell and Haunted House, prevents graveyard effects from working. Or you can clear out a key piece of their puzzle, like maybe a Dragonic Diagram or a Black Fang Magician, or you know, anything really. And then 1 card from their field, you could get rid of that 1 crucial back row or that 1 big monster that you just can't seem to get over. And once that's gone, it's going to take you a turn or 2 maybe, but you're set up for the game. And I am going, like I said, I will possibly maybe change this deck because this isn't exactly my playstyle. I do like the turbo aspect of it, but like the Triple Potted Desires, the Twin Twisters, and some of the beasts that I'm not playing in the deck, I probably will change out. But I really love the deck. This is my favorite deck of all time, just because raccoons are just amazing in many ways than one. They've been labeled a tier 2 deck, but I believe their potential shows so much more. Like I said before, if you want me to give you an actual, beast deck profile, go ahead and just leave a comment. And I would just like to say that I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please, please make sure that you smash, crumble, and crush that like button. Give me that like button, and then you can move on your way. But before you do, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the little notification bell so you get all my content when it's posted. And If you guys have any ideas of anything that I should be doing with my channel or anything that you want me to deck profile, my computer is kind of off the wall right now because I had a little dog incident chewing my computer cord. But if I can get that back together, I definitely play YGO Pro for you, or literally anything. But just once again, thank you guys for being so supportive, and please tell your friends, bring every subscriber you possibly can, because this channel would love for it to grow. And once again, thank you for joining my venomous army, and I'll see you in the next video.